Let me know, guys, if you'll be able to see my screen.
I
Yeah.
can see it.
Let, yeah. I
Okay.
guess when you get started, let's record it. So when Danny gets here, he can.
I can do that.
I I
Okay.
started recording already.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
great, great, great. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Before getting into this session, has anyone tried that task, which is attaching a file more than, I say, 25 MB in email? Did anyone give a try?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Sorry, Prince. I didn't get any time for that.
Okay,
Sorry.
nice.
I
So,
actually looked.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a file that was 25 minutes. So
Yeah.
okay.
I asked for you. I asked you before because I was looking for a file like that, but I couldn't find a file that I could try it on.
Okay, okay. So let me tell you why I have asked that question, because Outlook has a limitation of 25 MB attachment. So you can attach only file which is 25 MB, not beyond that. So if you have to attach a file which is beyond 25 MB, ideally there is no way around. But with OneDrive for Business, there is something called smart attachments, which we will be working on and we'll be looking into. So let's dive into our OneDrive for Business session. So before getting into OneDrive for Business session, I would like to show something which is really nice. Okay, have I opened this already? Okay, it's already opened. Okay, so before getting into OneDrive for Business session, so let me just ask this one quick question. What do we know about OneDrive for Business? So what is OneDrive for Business and what is its basic purpose? If I'll ask about a generic statement, what do you say? What is OneDrive for Business as per your knowledge?
cloud uh, storage solution, so you can store your files in the cloud and it syncs to your laptop or to your workstations and across all your devices.
Okay,
Mhm.
one good feature. Anyone else would like to give a try? Something different on OneDrive for Business?
Don't be shy.
Nice, yeah. Don't be shy. Consider it as your session.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Okay, I'll
like
consider it
a,
as no. Okay, so in this case, I'll start with the introduction to OneDrive for Business. So what happened is in the earlier times, so people who have worked on SharePoint earlier version like 2010, 2013, they must be aware about something called My Site in SharePoint, especially in SharePoint 2010 and SharePoint 2013. Microsoft had a concept of My Site where end users specific. So how many user profiles are there in SharePoint Online? For every user, there was a My Site, which was holding up content or holding up configurations and files related to that user, which right now we have something called Dell. So it was comparison to Dell and OneDrive for Business, which was getting maintained in SharePoint as a My Site. So what happened is when it comes to My Site, there was one SharePoint site hosted for every user where they were maintaining lot of information related to My Site. Later on, Microsoft had decommissioned My Site and they started OneDrive for Business. When they started OneDrive, it was initially Groove, and the client name was groove.exe, which you can see it on my screen. So it was Groove with Office 2007, Office 2010, and Office 2013. So till Office 2013, it was groove.exe. When for the first time they launched OneDrive Sync Client, which was OneDrive.exe, it was Office 2016, and even their icon colors were also different. Only latest Groove.exe, which was 2013, and OneDrive.exe 2016 was a similar icon, which was blue color icon. But apart from this, there were multiple versions. So even if you guys have never configured it, so just make sure you should have OneDrive.exe or OneDrive for Business next generation sync client. You are not on the older version of sync client or on groove.exe. So why I shared these details. So that is one. Now coming on to why what is the purpose of OneDrive for Business in nowadays where we have a lot of things on cloud? We already have SharePoint. If I have to host a lot of files on SharePoint, I can do that. In SharePoint, we can host up to 30 million documents. I don't need OneDrive for Business. So then what was the purpose of rolling out OneDrive for Business? The only purpose of rolling out OneDrive for Business was to get rid of computer space. We tend to store a lot of documents on our personal machine. So what Microsoft has pushed as as a point to get rid of those personal space, that you can use a system which is just a system. It has not a bigger hi-fi configuration. It is just a plain system with some space, say some 80 GB or 100 GB. You do not need to have 1 terabytes of space. So 100 GB, 100 gigabytes is more than enough, wherein 40 gigabytes will be for operating system and so on, little more for remaining thing, and rest everything has to be on cloud. That is where these concepts of VDIs came into picture. Now, when they launched the concept of VDIs, their personal documents were missing. When their personal documents came into picture, they said we have a OneDrive for Business. You can host your all documents in OneDrive for Business. OneDrive for Business is actually one of the SharePoint site only, which is assigned to a particular user. So now I'll not get into any of the other details in document. I'll get on to direct a demo of OneDrive for Business. So now if I will look out, there are two ways to open OneDrive for Business. I have, if OneDrive is installed, which generally will be installed with Office 2016 by default, I can click on OneDrive and it will open OneDrive Sync Client. So this is OneDrive Sync Client, which I mentioned just few minutes ago, which is OneDrive Sync Client or next generation Sync Client. You can see this icon as well in your taskbar if OneDrive will be there. So OneDrive Assurant INC, which will tell you the message if any files are there which are being synced or whether it is all up to date. So this is the first way to open OneDrive. What if I do not have OneDrive on my machine? So what is the other way around is go to portal.office.com, which is to log into our tenant where I have been assigned a user license, and I can click on OneDrive. So the moment I'll click on OneDrive, it opens up OneDrive for Business, which is the web version of OneDrive. So whatever the files I have on local machine, all the files are available in cloud as well. And there will be a real-time sync, which is happening every second. Rather, I say it is every millisecond this sync is happening. So within 1 minute, you can see a lot of changes will start getting reflected in online. If we are making some change in online, it will start reflecting in our local application. So it's a two-way data binding process, which is it's a two-way bi-directional process wherein the data is syncing both the ways. If we are syncing something on cloud, we'll be able to see it here in real time, or if we are syncing it here, it will be available in cloud. Till this point, any question?
Nope.
Okay. So let's get on to some of the interesting concepts of OneDrive now. Now, if I ask you this question, someone has said that OneDrive site is a SharePoint site only. Can I add Power BI to my OneDrive? Sounds fascinating or sounds foolish question or silly question? Can we add some apps which I can install on my SharePoint site? Can I install the same apps on OneDrive? Is that possible? Logical or not?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it.
Okay, so let's see through in real-time scenario. How does it look like when if I have to do something like that? So generally, what happens is if I am telling it to be a SharePoint site, then ideally I should be able to see everything what is there on the SharePoint site. So this is my OneDrive. So I am going to settings page of OneDrive. So what I did is I just replaced this OneDrive.aspx with settings.aspx. Still, it is my OneDrive only. And how the URLs are formatted. So in this case, if you would like to understand the URL, so assurant-connect-my.sharepoint.com. So this my.sharepoint.com is actually coming up from the conventional way of my site, which was in on-premise versions. So this is same my site URL, which is available for every user. And even if we look at our tenant where we have list of sites, this site will be available, which is my site. So after that, it will be personal, and then my first name underscore last name underscore organization name, or rather I say the tenant domain where we are hosting this OneDrive. So it will be, if my email address is prince.dhawan@assurant.com, so it is formatted in this manner. So if it is Sunny Karandi, so it will be Sunny underscore Karandi underscore assurant underscore com. So this way it will be available. We can even create our own URL. But now coming back to our original, someone mic is unmuted. Can you please unmute it? Okay, thank you. So in case of settings, I have this gear icon available. I can do add an app. So if I say add an app, we have all the apps available what I can add it on any of the SharePoint site, because down the lane it is actually a SharePoint site only. So in this case, if I say modern content query, I have seen some app, I'm liking this app, I would like to use it on my OneDrive with my personal content, I can do that. It is getting installed on my OneDrive. So this is loading. So we can add any app which is available for SharePoint site, compatible with SharePoint site, same apps we can add here. Now, can we add list? Can we add document libraries? We can add list, we can add document library, we can add app, we can do anything, because this is ideally a SharePoint site only. So in this case, where my documents are hosted, that's in my default document library. Any SharePoint site will by default have a document library. Same is true with OneDrive as well, because OneDrive also is a SharePoint site which is meant to host documents. So obviously there will be a document library where all of my documents are available. Till this point, any question?
So the behavior is exactly as the SharePoint, because it's a SharePoint
Exactly.
site, right? So
Yes,
okay,
that's true.
interesting.
Any
Thank
question? Okay, if I would be at your place, I must have asked this question. When it is the same SharePoint site, then what is the difference between a SharePoint site and a OneDrive site? Why will I use OneDrive site? I can provision a SharePoint site with my name, which even if I say for a testing purpose, I already have done so. So I have a site for me, which is on my name. I can use it as OneDrive. Why will I use specially OneDrive for business? Why will I not use SharePoint site? Can anyone try to tell that difference? What is the difference between a OneDrive site and a SharePoint site? Why Microsoft has given it a separate site, or why it is available for everyone?
Well, this site is only for you, right? At this moment.
At this moment, if I create a new site, even this is also only for me because I am the owner. I have not added anyone.
Can you add more Can you add more groups, security groups in there?
In OneDrive,
Mm-hmm.
it's a SharePoint site. It do support.
Okay, so you can do that. Okay.
Is there a synchronizing agent for SharePoint site?
Yes, it is there. I will come on to that synchronizing agent because this is part of our demo. But we can do sync. We can sync it. So it is the same way. If I can sync my OneDrive, same thing I can do it with SharePoint site also.
You got me.
You mentioned about storage. You mentioned about site in
Okay.
the beginning. Is related to that?
Storage. No, it's not related to storage. By default, my OneDrive, I'll get storage space available, which is 5 gigabytes. And the same is true for SharePoint site also. So this is my OneDrive. So for checking my storage metrics, I need to go to site setting and I can go to storage metrics. In storage metrics, I can see how much is available. So for me, it is how much is available. It is 1 terabyte. So it is available. So same is true for this also. SharePoint site also, meaning whatever the space, it is not a constraint on space. Space is handled by tenant administrator or SharePoint Online administrator, and we can control how much space we would like to assign it by default for all the users, how much space we want to assign it for all sites, SharePoint sites. That is controlled by SharePoint admin. So we do not, meaning I do not consider space as a difference between SharePoint site and OneDrive site. Okay, I will try to answer this question. So when it comes to SharePoint site, okay, rather I'll commit in this question, will answer in one of the real scenario. What happened is one of the end user has reached out to me. They asked me, they had a scenario wherein what happened is they want to host some documents where they want to have access only to their team. They are a member of 2 people or rather 3 people. Those 2 to 3 members, they want to host some documents on one SharePoint site and want to retain control only with them. They do not want the control to be available even to support team. If we provision any site, we do have access. If we provision, if some user provision team site, our Office 365 Dev App group will by default have access. If it is provisioned a modern site, then Jess's team will by default have access because those guys are the SharePoint admins. They will have access to that site. But what was the end user's requirement? They want to have access only to those 2 or 3 people which they want to just specify. If they are specifying Sunny and Roger need to have access, only those two will have access, not even tenant administrator or not even global administrator will have access to those documents. So in that case, what was the answer is SharePoint is not a right fit because SharePoint, the mindset to use SharePoint is when you need to collaborate with your team, with people. That is where you use SharePoint site. But if you want to host some documents which are only accessible to you or to 1 or 2 other people, OneDrive is the best option because OneDrive for Business is something where you host your documents which only you want to access. But out of which you want to share some documents to others as well, you have a sharing option. You can share it. So that was the answer and that was the basic mindset behind OneDrive for Business and SharePoint site, which is security. So when it comes to OneDrive for Business, I would like to show you. So in case of OneDrive for Business, if I'll go to settings, site settings, you will see this option, Site Collection Administrator. So in case of Site Collection Administrator, all SharePoint admins will by default have access to all SharePoint sites, but they will not have access to OneDrive content. They cannot access OneDrive. OneDrive content can only be accessible by the person who is holding that site. No other person can have access to OneDrive. Is that difference clear between OneDrive for Business site and SharePoint site?
So it sounds to me like a, I'm sorry, go ahead, Tony.
No, I said, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it sounds like a very confidential site that you have, right? For you and
Exactly.
whoever you want to share with.
Correct.
Okay.
And there 2 things are there. One is security, which is a rule provided by Microsoft, plus one assumption, which is that you are going to store document which is for your personal use. You are not going to use your desktop space. You are going to use your cloud space, freeing up desktop space. You are using cloud, plus your documents are your personal documents. You are not going to put those documents on OneDrive, which are to be shared across organization, then OneDrive for Business is not a right fit for that option. So this is the
Frank,
major difference. Yeah.
I have a question because I
Yes.
opened mine and I went to settings.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to see the group setting for permission groups, I can
Mm-hmm.
see that by default I have the everyone except external users as a user
You mean
there
site
besides my
permission?
name. So
This one.
everybody have
Mm-hmm.
no, yeah, but I do have as a default right now that I open. I have the everyone except external users as a user added to that,
Oh my God.
which is yep,
Okay, then means you have shared your OneDrive, meaning this is working exactly
everyone
like SharePoint. That means you have shared your site with
with
everyone.
everyone.
So in that case, if I like try to break it because you already have shared it, I know that
Mhm.
this URLs work in this manner. So it should be hernandezassurance.com. Let's see. Okay, this
Mm,
gives me access denied. So because I'm trying to access this setting, so I'll try to access OneDrive.aspx, which will be
mhm,
your OneDrive.
right.
Okay, so yes, you have. Okay, this is okay. This is bringing mine. Let me try to open yours, which is Roger underscore Hernandez. Spelling is correct, na?
Hernandez. Yeah, Roger Hernandez. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
But
Meaning
it's
I
but
can
it's a,
access it. I
but
can
I have
access your OneDrive, but how many documents you have shared, that is another question that I'll come later. Because OneDrive, because it's a secure site, it works with what do you call it as unique shares. It works with unique shares, and what is this term? I'll explain it later.
But let me ask you a question. I
Mhm.
didn't use that before. I just opened it for the first time, pretty much. So if at the default it comes with that, or
I
or,
don't
or, or
think so.
somehow accidentally I added to.
Maybe you added it accidentally by
Yeah,
sharing some file.
I took a look at mine. Mine just has my name on it.
Mm,
Yeah, I did the same. Yeah, it only has
okay,
my name.
so probably I did it by adding
Maybe you
sharing file.
added it
Yeah.
by mistake, or while sharing something, you maybe shared that with everyone
Okay.
except external users, so you must remove it.
Okay.
Other, Otherwise, people like me can easily hack it because I am
Okay.
a lover of URL, so I love to play with URLs.
All
Okay,
right.
so in that
Nothing to
case,
hide.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
try to hack it now before he changes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Okay, so let's come
Thank you.
back to okay my OneDrive so that Roger can unshare it. Okay, so coming back to this one, so we have seen the concept of OneDrive. It's a SharePoint site. We can do exactly what we can do with SharePoint site, but the major difference is towards security, and plus one assumption that you are not going to use your physical space and you are going to use cloud space. Now, when I say I'm going to use cloud space, not my desktop space, what does that mean? So if I am going to sync it for the first time, if I click on sync, what it does, it will fire an event to sync it with sync client, which is this client, which is OneDrive for business sync client. So in this case, I'm going to make just one file here with a different icon. Okay, so can anyone try to guess? There are two different type of icon. One is cloud icon, one is this check mark. Any difference we can we can observe from the icons?
Yeah, I think the cloud is that it's not locally on your machine, right?
That's correct. So in this case, if see this one is roughly 18 megabytes. So if I check the size properties, so in this case, this tells me size on disk is 0 bytes, but size of the file is 18.3 megabytes. Now, if I check for this particular document, so it tells me it is 8.5 megabytes on disk as well as document size. Now, if I do not want this document to take up space on my machine, I can always free up space. There is an option called free up space. I can do that. So now you have seen the moment I did it, it just shown that refresh icon for a fraction of second and it refreshed and it synced up with the cloud. Now if I'll show you, another option, which is so this is I have shared my OneDrive files, which is there on my machine as well as on my computer on my cloud. Now, one question is, what is the meaning why we will use it? Always keep on this device or free up space. So like how does this feature help me in real life scenario? Meaning if this document is available with me, I can anytime access it. Why will I keep it on my device, or why will I keep it? Why will I download this document?
So you can work offline.
Exactly. So this feature is called Files on Demand, which is provided by Microsoft. That is, if you need to have your files available for some time to work it offline, then you can have these files available locally. Once you come online, immediately these files will automatically get synced. So I can show you these options by making my OneDrive to pause. So what I'll do is I'll just right click on my OneDrive icon and I say pause syncing. So for how much time I'll pause it for 2 hours. So now my OneDrive has paused. So let's do it now. What I'll do is I'll just rename files. I'll just say July 9th and then July 16th. Rename July 23rd. So I have just made some changes, which now these changes I have made it my local machine. If I see here, even if I refresh, these changes are not reflected. It is still 15, 22, and 8. Now what I'll do is I'll make it enabled. Resume syncing. So now the moment I just clicked resume syncing, it started processing changes. Okay, so now the moment it will be done, so this said OneDrive is up to date. Now if I refresh, all of the changes have been appeared. So 16, 23, and 9. So these changes are real time. It will take fraction of second. It will take certain milliseconds to pick up that event that something has changed on my Windows Explorer or on my cloud. It immediately starts syncing both the ways. Till this point, any question?
Nope.
Okay, great. What are the different options provided by OneDrive? So if I see on my local machine, it has provided me an option to share, view online, view version history, and always keep on this device, free up space. So basically, whatever are there in between these two lines, all these options are related to OneDrive only. So in this case, if I need to share this file either internally or externally, I can share this file with anyone. So if I need to share it, I can share any name who is available within organization. It will automatically search for. If that person is not available, I'll try to send it on my personal email ID, which is gmail.com. It will try to pick up and send it to that also. But definitely it will tell you one warning that this particular email ID is outside organization, similar to our SharePoint share. So same way, the moment I'll click on share, so it will share these files. It will send that email. Now, Tony, can you try to open that file once?
Okay.
So now in this case, it will be utilizing my mailbox to tell me that I have shared a file. So with whom I have shared file with these two people. So I have shared a file. Now, the moment the one good part, okay, you opened it. Now, one good part about OneDrive for Business is when someone will open the file which I have shared, it will intimate me. If someone is opening my file, I'll get to know that yes, someone has opened the file. So it will maybe it will take a minute, but it will trigger a communication to me that Tony has opened the file which you shared. So that is one good feature. Now,
can you disable that one good feature?
Okay, so the good feature is now if I have shared a file with someone, the moment the other person will open the file, OneDrive keeps a track of it. OneDrive keeps the audit history. So if Tony has opened the file, I will be getting a notification when for the first time Tony has opened the file. So it may be taking a minute to trigger a notification to me that Tony has opened. So I can even show which I had certain notifications here. Okay. Matthew. Okay, I can accept to the design. I can show you that notification one. Opened file. Okay, I'll pick that up later. Maybe I will get once I'll get the notification. I'll share it up. That Tony has opened the file, so it will send me the notification once that user has opened the file which I shared. So that is one of the good feature that it keeps track that this file has been shared, this file has been opened. Now the second feature is you can see the difference in the icons. All the files are with cloud icon, but this file is with one user icon, meaning this file has been shared. Now if I need to see with whom I have shared, what I can do is I can click on share. I can see here we have a icon manage access. We can see here people you specify can view. So these are the people these are the people where they can view right now. If I need to change their permissions, I can make it edit as well. The moment I'll do edit, so their permission will change it and they will be able to edit the file. So if I need to revert it back to view, I can do it anytime. So the moment I'll change it, they will not be able to edit something. So if I'll give them an option to edit, so Tony, will you be able to open that file and can you try to edit that file?
Yep. I try
So
to do that.
one of a third awesome feature of OneDrive is co-authoring. We can edit the file at the same time. So now I am editing the file. I'll try to edit, wherein Tony also can edit the file. We can work on different rows. Like I am working on row number 2, saying something testing. So Tony also can open the file and he also can edit the file at the real time.
It's saying view only in the top.
View only. Are you getting an option to edit file?
Read only. No, not.
Okay. Let me check if I have given you edit permission, manage access. Yeah, I have updated the permission. Should be able to access. Can you just reopen it?
Okay.
I will share one file from here, which is
It's still showing me with view only. Now what I did is I closed the tab and I went back to your email and clicked open.
okay.
And it's still saying view only in the top. And when I click into a cell, I getting read only. This workgroup was open in read only mode.
Okay, maybe it is some policies which I need to change it. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the same thing on my parent machine, which is RDA. So what I'll do is I'll share this file with Tony by picking up Tony's email address. And okay, I cannot copy it. So I'll just look at Tony.Gonzalez. Okay. Okay, I'll share this file with you. So because I already have done it, I'll even get the notification that you have opened the file, which I'm not getting on Assurant one. Probably need to look at policy. Okay, I'll share Tony dot So Tony, can you confirm if the spellings are correct?
That's correct.
Okay. This link won't work for outside of your organization. Specific people allow editing. Apply is outside of your organization. Okay. Send. Okay. Can you just try to see if it is working for you?
Okay, so the original one,
The one which I
you-
shared, test.
right? The one that when I opened it in my desktop,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it is allowing me to edit it. But when
Okay.
I tried like editing it in the online on the browser,
Mm-hmm.
that one was the one that was saying view only
Okay. Okay.
on the browser.
So one which I just now shared you, that test XLX file, test spreadsheet.
Okay, got it. Opening it. You received a secure link. You have received a secure link. Send code.
You'll get one OTP. So okay. See, I have got the notification. If you can see my screen, Tony.Gonzalez@assurant.com has opened the link you sent to test. You just now opened, and immediately I got the notification. So this is one of the cool feature. And now if I open this file and you open the file, we will be able to see we both are editing at same time. So if I'll open it, test.xlsx, same, now I am opening. Can you try editing if you have access?
Yeah, I had to enter a code because that one had
Okay, you do your OTP,
yeah,
which must be there on your email.
59568. Okay, I got it. I'm entering
So
it.
Okay.
Saying check. All right, it's going in.
So one of the cool thing we'll get is we'll get two different icons as well. Like it will be one PD, one with TG. So if I am editing here, there will be a icon associated with my cursor that I am editing this cell, and the other cursor will be Tony's. Okay, here you see Tony Gonzalez is here. Okay, can you try editing something? Okay. See, I am getting where you are clicking, which cursor, which cell you are trying to edit or trying to access. I'm getting that option. So this is my cursor. So I am typing here. You are typing as well at the same time. So this is
Right.
the feature which is there with OneDrive for Business. So you can have co-authoring with OneDrive for Business files. You can share it and we need to work. Sunny and I need to work on one change request template. We can share a document in OneDrive and we can work together. We do not need to have on call screen sharing session. We can just share a file and we can work together without even hampering or without even being on call for so long. Okay, till this part, any question?
Yes, Prince, I have a question
Yeah.
with security.
Mm-hmm.
If this is OneDrive is very confidential and you have files there
Correct.
that not even the administrator can see,
Mhm.
but it allows you to share that with people outside the organization, how you can impose policies and security on that.
We have the policies at our tenant level. We have a OneDrive,
Okay.
like our SharePoint admin center. We have a admin center at OneDrive where we can impose security. We have three
Okay.
different type of securities which we can impose. One is at sharing level. If I disable sharing to external users, I cannot share it to anyone outside organization. We have a sharing policy that we can share it externally. We can share it only within organization. And even we have another level of security, which is the link which I share, meaning when I click on share, it generates a link. That link, can that link be anonymous? That if I have shared a link to Tony and Tony in turn shared that email to Roger, can Roger access that link? Even that also policy we can set it up in the admin center. The second is I can share a link which only people in my organization can use it. Meaning I have shared a file with Tony. Tony have shared it with Roger, but we both are in same organization. They can access it. Even we have one more level of security, which is if I have shared a file to Tony, only Tony can access. So it is the direct people with whom the link has been shared, only they can access. So we have all of these admin center settings in our SharePoint in our tenant, wherein we have a OneDrive admin center and we can set all of these policies. Even if we need to restrict whatever level, we can do. That's possible.
Can't you
Alright,
just
thank you.
password the file if you need it secured? In
Sorry?
the Excel spreadsheet, you can set a password on it, right?
Password, not really, because it's by default secured by Microsoft protocol. So by default, this file is secure. If Tony have got a OTP, which is once he clicked the link, then he will get a OTP. By entering that OTP only, he'll be able to enter into file. Otherwise, he cannot access the file because he's external user for this file.
Right.
When it
But I meant
comes to Mhm.
the Excel file has, you can set a password on the Excel file, right? That'll prompt you to enter it. So even if he could see it, you couldn't get to it. Or you get to it, but it would say you can't open it.
Okay, yeah, meaning that's there. Password protected files we can make it, but when I am sharing it, I am giving it purposely to someone that they can see it. We have permission. We are trimming it with permission that they can see or they can edit. If I don't need to share it, I'll simply stop sharing it.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question till this point?
Nope.
Okay, we'll move to next point, which is we have now seen like how the files can be shared. So this was one option, which is sharing. Now next is view online. So if I need to view this file in online, which is opening my web version of OneDrive and opening the file, it gives me that option. So I can edit workbook, I can do whatever the options I can do in local desktop application. So this is second option. If I look at third option, version history, this is again one of the important thing. Though I am working on my local desktop, by keeping the files on cloud, not using my desktop space, still I can maintain the version history, whatever the versioning I have been taking care of. So in this case, if I see version history, so I can see when and last who modified these files. So if someone else also has modified, which I have provided access to, so I can see that in version history. Now the question is how many versions we can keep for a particular document. Any idea?
A lot.
Tony knows it.
Well, you already have a limit, right?
We have a limit.
Right. So the limit is set already for you for your drive.
No, it's not
No?
really. Meaning we can set it at OneDrive admin center that we can only allow people to use these many versions, but by default it picks up SharePoint versioning limit, which is 50,000 major versions, and for every one version close to 411 minor versions. So that is a limitation which is imposed by SharePoint, because OneDrive is following SharePoint, so it is the same version limit which is applicable by default on all documents. So that is one of the another thing. So now I have shown you this always keep on device and free up space. So that is one thing which I have shown from the end user perspective. Now coming on to second very important aspect, which is opening up my document libraries. So now I am in my SharePoint site. I am not in OneDrive. So this is my SharePoint team site, which is site sprints. So what I'm doing is I'm going to documents. So in this case, I have this document library. What if I'll click on sync? If I click on sync, it says sync this library to your device for easy access. I can click on sync now. I can click on get the OneDrive for business app if I do not have installed OneDrive. If I have installed, it will tell you that open OneDrive. So I have OneDrive. I am clicking on sync now. It is prompting me to open OneDrive. Clicked on OneDrive, open OneDrive. So it said you are already syncing this document. So it started syncing. Now, where can I see those files? Now this is my Windows Explorer. In this case, this is my OneDrive, OneDrive Assurant. This is where all of my document libraries will appear. This is something which I just now did a sync. So when I did a sync of Prince documents, so this naming convention is site name and then document library name. So documents is a document library name, Prince is a site name. That is where I have synced it, and it has all the documents available which are there for me right now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up another site, which is anything which is on Teams. Okay, something like M&A playbook. Okay, M&A playbook, and inside this I am going to site content, layouts, view list.aspx. I am going to site content. I am opening documents. So now I do not have any document, but still I want to sync this document library with my local machine. Okay, you are syncing now. Let's open up my Windows Explorer to see. In Assurant, now I got one more folder, which is Assurant Inc. is my organization. M&A model is the site name. Documents is some document. I am creating a text file here with name test chart. And I'm just adding some content. Hello. Saving it. Okay, it has synced up as well, and I can see the green mark. So I do not want to hold it up, free up space. So this has freed the space and this become a cloud file. Okay, now if I'll refresh, this is a two-way sync and all the documents are appearing on this M&A site. I do not want to keep any document on this. Let's delete the document. So this document has been deleted. Check it up on local. This has been synced up in real time. Any questions till now?
Yeah, Prince. So
Yeah.
if you go to Teams and you go to one of the channels and click on Files,
Okay.
will you be able to also do a sync, and that way it's right there on your?
Very nice question. So what we can do is, so now this is the one. Okay, I am going to this specific team, this channel. Now these all files, whatever the files, these are available under file section. If I click on files, click on open in SharePoint, this actually opens the actual library where these files are saved. And here I got a sync option. You can do that because by default, these all are SharePoint document libraries and you can sync it. There is no restriction. If I click on sync, it will automatically, it will start syncing with the same way. We just now sync two files. And we can see here, you see, I have got my channel, which is GT
Cool.
Shared Software Scrum Team General. General is my channel. This is my team name, which is ideally my SharePoint site and my document library. So all of the files are available as well.
I like that one.
Nice.
With File Explorer now we don't have to go into Teams to actually get to the files. Cool.
That's true. That's true. Any other question till now? Before I'll move on to even nice features on nice things about OneDrive. Okay, I'll consider it as no. So now I am syncing a lot of files now. This has a document library. This has document library. All are these document libraries. I have my OneDrive files also. Now in these cases, what is the limit of OneDrive? How many documents we can store on OneDrive? Any rough idea? Any estimate? What could be the maximum number of files which we can store on OneDrive?
It's depending on your capacity, what they allocated to?
No. That is one thing. Meaning, if I have been allocated 1 terabyte, then I can add files which are equivalent to 1 terabyte. Beyond that, if I need to add more files, Then I need to request my tenant admin to increase the space. They can increase the space and I can add more files. But that's not a limitation from Microsoft side or from OneDrive side. OneDrive will keep on working.
Good.
Any number of files limit, what could be the limit?
I don't know.
Okay. So in case of OneDrive, as per Microsoft limits, we can add 300,000 files in our OneDrive where sync client will work seamlessly. Now, when I say 300,000, considering how many files from different document libraries I am syncing, plus all of the files which are there on OneDrive, combining these two folders, how many files are there? This should always be less than 300,000. There is no guarantee that it, meaning there is no guarantee beyond 300,000 that the sync client will work or stop working. 90% of the scenarios it will stop working. I am the exceptional one because I have actually tried to break this limit by uploading more than 300,000 files. It stops syncing, but it will not stop you to put files. You can still add files. You can still click on sync. You can sync. The major difference happen is it will take hours to sync even 1 KB file because it has to iterate all the files. That is where Microsoft says the recommended limit is 300,000. Don't try to upload more files beyond 300,000. So if you want to have your sync client running seamlessly, perfectly fine without any issues, try to have the files lesser than 300,000. So that is the limit of OneDrive for Business.
Okay.
Till this point, any question? Otherwise, I'm going to discuss one of the very important aspect of OneDrive, which we'll be using. If we'll start using, that obviously will come.
Does that apply also to the OneDrive personal one, the 300K limit?
Yes, that applies to OneDrive Personal as well. Okay, so now the next question. Now imagine I am syncing, meaning I am working on day-to-day basis. I am working on 10 different SharePoint sites. On 10 different SharePoint sites, I do work with a lot of documents as part of my routine activities. Now in this case, I am going to upload everything on, meaning I'm going to sync all the document libraries with my SharePoint site. In that case, one SharePoint document library can hold up to 30 million documents, but my OneDrive can hold up to 300,000 files only, which is even lesser than 1 million. So in that case, how can we manage those document libraries in my OneDrive? Meaning I have synced 4 different document libraries. These 4 different document libraries can have millions of documents, but in that case, I cannot sync it with my local OneDrive sync client because I have a max limit of 300,000. Then too, that is combined for all the document libraries plus my OneDrive files also. Then how can I do that? So to tackle that option, Microsoft has given us selective sync. Now, what is this selective sync? Now I'm going to show you something on OneDrive settings. So in this case, these all are OneDrive related menus. So you can see these all are pretty normal options. I'll pick up settings. View online is to open your OneDrive online. Manage storage is to see the different storage, which is nothing but your storage metrics only. So it's a straight direct link, which I went to settings and storage metrics. You have an option to pick up storage metrics to see how much percentage of your total space you are utilizing here. So that is available. Apart from this, send feedback, close OneDrive, get help, these all are pretty straightforward option. I'll go to setting. Now if I'll go to settings, in this case, let's do one thing. In case of in case of my documents on this site, let's create few documents. I have a test folder. Inside this, I have a folder called test1. Inside test1, I'll say test2. Okay, I'll go to document library. Now consider a scenario that at every folder level, I have thousands of document. I have 1,000 documents at this location, 1,000 or 10,000 documents in this folder plus subfolder. I have another subfolder. I have another subfolder. Now I am working on my daily routine. I am working only on my test one folder instead of all the folders because I am working on test one. But if I sync this document library, all of these files, including test and all of the sub files, these all will come into picture. They all will come by default because I'm syncing entire document library. Do you agree with me? Getting
Yes.
this point? That if I sync this document library, obviously everything will come onto my local machine. Now I do not want, because I am working on just this one subfolder. I'm not working on everything. In that case, what I can do is I can come on just this test specific folder. I can select the file. Before that, I'll add one more folder, which is ABC. I'll select only one folder and I'll click on, okay. I'll open this folder, which I am working regularly, click on sync, so that it will open only that specific folder in my sync location instead of everything from the document library. Okay, now in this case, okay. Test deletion, test documents. Okay, where is that went? I have created a test documents this because this is already syncing. So it is not considering that sync because I already have synced the entire document library. I'll delete this sync. Okay, delete. View online, always keep it on device. Okay. So what if I need to even stop sync? I have to go here and I have to click on stop sync. So this is my documents. I can click on stop sync, or because I am already syncing this entire document library, I can even choose a folders also. This is called selective sync. I do not want to sync everything. I just want to sync a particular folder or some specific files. So in this case, this will allow me to select. Okay, 1 second. It's loading up. Okay. Test 2. Okay. Does this make sense? I was previously syncing entire document library, but I do not want to make all the document library available. I just want to have one subfolder synced. So I am syncing this one folder only. So in this case, this is called selective sync, which is one another feature provided by Microsoft. So I can choose folder. I can stop sync if anytime I need to stop syncing. If I need to unlink this drive, I can do unlinking of my OneDrive as well. If I need to add another account, I have two different OneDrive. One is OneDrive for business, one is my personal OneDrive. I can manage both here only. I can do that part. So apart from this, there are some certain settings which we can just have a look at. I'll start OneDrive automatically when I sign on, notify me when sync is auto post, warn me before removing files from cloud, automatically post sync, OneDrive automatic. So these all are pretty straightforward options, and we can see through. These are pretty meaningful one. So backup is if I need to back up my files. So this is one another feature which probably we can discuss it another time as we are running out of time. So we'll just see it some option which is like network. These options are pretty straightforward, not really something technical which I need to explain. So these are very meaningful options. But accounts is something which had a lot of things which I just explained. So till this point, any questions? Anyone has any question on OneDrive?
So if you want to stop one of those, the prints document, for example, so it doesn't appear there anymore, you would choose the stop sync and that's it. And
yes, I clicked on stop sync and it is gone. So now if I'll just close this, open my Explorer again, that is gone. Now it is only prints document and deletion. So even if I delete these, so I'll go to settings, these one, I'll just stop sync. Okay, so these are just two. Okay, so I will close it, open it. Now if these files are there, these are local files. There is no cloud icon, there is no OneDrive icon. Because these files were there, I have like selected always on, keep these files always on my machine. That is why these files are downloaded. So these files are available, but these are not synced anymore with my machine. So meaning something like this. So now if I stop sync for this file, still this folder and this file will be available. These two will get deleted. We can just have a check. Settings. Okay, stop sync. Okay.
Anything more?
Okay, so I think
You broke it.
Yeah, probably something messed up. So that
You broke it.
yeah, correct. Probably I can do it. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, so it is only adding up my OneDrive. So the other one got I think something messed up. So probably it is like whatever the files are available on my local storage, I have kept it as local downloaded. So those files will be there even if I delete those files. Meaning, sorry, if I unlink the files. So one last question is, if you have deleted the file from your OneDrive, is it possible to restore?
There's a recycling bin, yes. No?
There are two
OneDrive?
options here. There are two options. If I am deleting the file from my web version, it will definitely go to my recycle bin, which I can go to site content and I can see in recycle bin. But if I am deleting it from my Windows Explorer, this will go to my recycle bin, local recycle bin. See? These all are OneDrive files. You can see even the original location. Assurant INC, prints documents, test1. So whatever the files we are deleting from local media, that will go to recycle bin of the Windows machine. If we are deleting files from web version, then those will go to recycle bin, which is under that OneDrive site. And that covers whatever I had to cover in OneDrive session. So
How do you get to the, when you are on the OneDrive on the web, how do you get to the apps?
Okay, so if you go to view online, so in this case, you just need to do is you go here, type settings, and you have a setting icon, then you have add an app.
Oh, okay.
So, or you can go to site content, you have both the option, app, list, document, library. So now answer to your question. How can we add file with email which is more than 25 or 30 MB? Create a new mail, then attach file, attach it from OneDrive. If I attach any file which is of OneDrive, then this file will not be considering the space on your Outlook. This file will be considering the space on your OneDrive version. So this will be a smart attachment and it will not consider the space on your Outlook. So with that way, you can even send the files which are beyond 25 MB with Outlook as an attachment, because those files will have cloud icon available. And let me show you here.
But you have to share that document, no?
No. Okay. You need to share that file. It will by default share. I am sharing it with Tony. Attach file, attach it from web locations, from OneDrive. So it picks up file from my OneDrive. So this is my OneDrive, which is my parent company OneDrive. So here, okay, you can see here, this is RDA Lab OneDrive, which is where I can choose any file. So what I did is I just click on attach a file, web location, OneDrive. So it will automatically open my OneDrive folder, out of which I just like created a test folder. I'll pick up this file. So I can pick up, because this file is already shared with you, I'll not pick this file. I'll pick this file, okay, timesheet, and I'll fill this, insert. So this is two things are there. One is share link, one is attach a copy. So if I see attach a copy, this will be attached as actual file. But if I do not attach, then this is taking space on my Outlook. This is 194 KB on my Outlook one. I'll remove attachment. I'll attach the same file as a link. Okay, timesheet, insert as a share link. This will have a cloud icon. Okay, see, this is a cloud icon. Now this is not considering any space on your Outlook, because this is sharing it as a link. So even if this file is of 100 MB, this will be available to you on email as attachment, where you can open your mail and you just click on the file, it will open. Now, when I open this file, this actually will share on the OneDrive. So this sharing, okay, I'll say test sharing. So I have shared it. Now this is similar to if I am sharing it something like this. Share.
If he shared that with Tony Gonzalez at gmail.com, can he still view it?
No. It has to be the same email address where I have shared.
No, I'm saying if you sent the email to Tony Gonzalez at gmail.com,
it works.
So if Tony wanted to share his own document with himself on his personal account.
Meaning I can share it, yes. If your question is that can I share this file to my personal email ID? Yes, right. I can share it. But if I am sharing it on personal email ID and from that personal email ID I'm sending it to some other email, that email account cannot work. It is direct link. If I'm sharing it to my email ID, yes, it will be available. I can access it from my personal email ID also.
Okay.
So with that way, we can manage to share files which are even beyond 25 MB, which is out of Outlook limit.
So I got your timesheet and I opened it, and it says this link is only available to internal users.
We maybe that need to just check on policies on sharing if I have allowed to access this file to external user. But this is there, and the moment you opened it, I got a notification that you opened this. Okay, there will be, maybe you have not I have not shared it appropriately. So in that case, I need to just look at, okay, this is the one which I just shared you. Okay, so in that case, I have this attachment which I given you. Preview, open file location, save as, attachment, select all. Okay, there was one option actually. I think I can try to do the same thing. Actually, in case of assurance, there are some policies applied which need to be checked up at admin. Otherwise, this internal for within organization, it works seamlessly. Because here it is adding up as an attachment. So now if I share you this file, can you just try to add? Can you try to access if you are able to access it? Okay, send anyway. I have sent you this file which is with link. So this is a cloud icon file.
Okay, I'm opening it. Let's see.
Because when it comes to external users, we need
That one
to,
open.
okay, yeah, because when it comes to external users, we need to look at the policy which is applied at our tenant level, meaning in OneDrive admin center, which is common for everyone. So what is the policy applied? We just need to look at that policy.
But wouldn't that the one that you shared with me was from RDA Labs?
Yeah.
So wouldn't that be policy? You have to check the policies in RDA Labs tenants.
Yes. In RDA Labs admin center, I need to check the policy. If I am sharing a file with external users, so will they be able to access it with OTP like you accessed one previous file? So, or whether it will be just an anonymous link that I shared it to you, you will be able to access it without any security. So all of those options are available in our OneDrive admin center. So which we can see. So if you have 1 minute or two, I have another tenant which I can show you that part as well, meaning that OneDrive admin center. So we have some settings available for OneDrive in admin center. Probably Tony will be able to see it because you are you are SharePoint admin in Assurant. You will be able to see this.
I like all that power.
Okay. Okay, so we have SharePoint admin center. So if I'll go to SharePoint admin center, inside SharePoint admin center, I'll get two different admin centers. One is SharePoint and one is OneDrive. Okay, so here is a OneDrive admin center. So if I look at OneDrive admin center, all of these settings are available under sharing. So in case of sharing, you can see these are the options. So one is shareable link, which is anyone with the link. So if I have shared it to any link to you, then that link will be available by default. Then there is something called internal. So if if I have shared that link in email, I have not shared it specifically on OneDrive. I just copied that link and provided to you on email. And my policy says it should be internal. Then anyone can access it. You try to control my machine, Elvin, or it is just by mistake?
No, I hit it by mistake. Sorry.
Okay. No problem. So this policy will allow to either share it with anyone without any security or with internal with only people in the organization. So this is something with direct specific people. So if I give access, so Tony, you got that OTP, that is direct specific people security, where if I am sharing a file, you will be able to access it only with the same email address where I have shared on, and you will get a OTP to access that file. Without that, you will not be able to access the file. So that is highest security, which is direct specific people. And
so why was it that I wasn't able to open that file? That
you were not able to. It is either internal or direct. Internal and direct both you will not be able to open because you are in the external user. So if it is internal, then obviously you will not be able to access the file because you are external user for RDA document. So in that case, you will not be able to access that file. So if I'll change the security to either direct, then you will be able to access, but you will be getting a OTP to access that. If I'll change it to shareable, then you can open it seamlessly. You do not need to even see through. You just click on open and it will open for you.
But these settings that you're looking are at the tenant level, right?
Yes, these settings are at tenant for OneDrive admin center. And there is something called external sharing setting as well. So these are the external sharing setting, which is like if I need to allow some certain domains or block certain domains, or external user first will accept the invitation by registering themselves on Azure AD, and then they'll be able to access it, or they can share by items by their own. So we have even these options as well. We can control, even if I am sharing it with external users, how it will behave for the external users. Even we can control that part as well. So this was a checkbox, Tony. We are not getting notification in Assurant OneDrive to see if you have opened the file. I didn't get that notification. Maybe this checkbox is disabled. You can check this setting. This checkbox must be disabled in OneDrive Admin Center. If this checkbox is enabled, then if I shared a file with you on OneDrive, you opened it, I'll get a notification.
Admin OneDrive.
So we have another lot more settings as well on OneDrive. If you guys will be liking to see that, we can even look at OneDrive Admin Center as well, because whatever we covered today, those were all from the end user perspective. So we have a lot more features and a lot more detailed diving features on OneDrive reporting, because a lot of things are there in OneDrive Admin Center. So this is something where we are specifying how much storage will be available to all the users by default. Any question till now? Okay. If no question is there, then we'll be good to, I'll stop sharing and we'll be good to wrap up our call. You can stop recording, Sunny.
Oh, she left to another meeting.
Okay, no worries. Then we'll disconnect the call and it will automatically stop recording. Thank you so much. Yeah, please, Tony.
Yeah, so I went to the admin OneDrive. I'm getting dangerous now.
Sorry, what is that? Getting?
I went to the admin OneDrive.com and I looked at other settings in the bottom and it says display to owners the names of people who viewed their files.
Okay.
That's checked.
It's checked?
Yeah.
Then we should get a notification, but I'm not getting a notification. But that is a setting which we need to check it to see why notifications, meaning the notification should be turned on. So, but I am not getting a notification. Probably we just need to see through if any other policy is there which is stopping or something else is there which is stopping. But from the admin side, that is a setting which can control the notifications.
And might be treating it as spam email because it comes from outside.
Yeah, we can check if it is getting into junk mailbox. I'm not really sure if it is getting in junk email, but I have not received any notification. But the same notification I am getting on my parent one, that you opened a file, and immediately I'll get the notification that yes, you have opened this file. But the same thing, I shared a file with you on Assurant. I have not received any notification that you opened a file, or let's see if got no. I have not got any notification.
Well, Tony's doing it from the dark web.
Okay, junk email. Have I received anything in junk? No, I haven't received anything in junk also.
Okay. Retain. Days to retain. All right. This is very, very helpful. I like the syncing part with the
Teams. MS Teams.
Yeah. With the MS Teams. That was cool.
Okay. Then thank you so much. Thanks everyone for sharing time by joining this session.
Thank you. Thank you, Prince.
Thank you, Prince.
Thank you very much, Prince.
Most welcome.
Thanks. Thanks, Prince. Bye.
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 Bye, guys. Bye-bye.